Hey guys, welcome back to Too Many Projects Garage. On this video, we're gonna install the clutch, put the engine back in the car, and drive it down the road again. But first thing we gotta do is replace this rear main seal and the pilot bearing on the flywheel. We can wrap this up and then start putting it back in the car. Stay tuned. Here's the rear main seal. Let's open it up and just make sure it matches up just fine. I'm sure it does, but can never be too careful. Seems the right diameter. Let's hold it up here. Oh yeah, definitely gonna work. So that's perfect. Also stopped by Harbor Freight a minute ago, bought me some new sockets because I was missing some. Got some 6-point. Really like the 6-point, and then of course got the 12-point short sockets. So I lost like half of mine, so extra set's always good. Let's grab this flywheel so we can pop out this pilot bearing. Oh, it's not very light. Let's set it over here near the arbor press. Oh, be careful, I don't want to break any teeth. I'm thinking set it upside down like this. Set it on here. So I'm going to get this lined up, and then what I'll do is get something that fits pretty much perfectly in that, and we're just going to push it straight out. So on the right socket for the job, just got to get lined up, so that way you can just go like that. It's lined up enough, and I'm going to use this big old long bar here, because why not? And we'll just push it right on out. There you go. It was that easy. I love this arbor press, man. It's coming super handy. So here's the old kind of cruddy. It's not, I mean, I can feel a little bit of crust in it, but anyways, let's go ahead and put the new pilot bearing in, which is right over here. Brand new, shiny, very nice. Let's look at the difference, yeah. Still a little dirty though, but maybe that's just from me touching it, I don't know. But yeah, definitely looks better, for sure. So let's flip this over, and we'll do the opposite. So I don't think I'll need the socket to put it in. I may have to use a socket to finish it off, but for now I'm just gonna use it like it is. We're just gonna knock it in there. Okay, that's flush, but I think it can go in a little bit further maybe. Let's flip it over and take a look at the other side and see if it looks like it's all the way in. And as you can see, it is definitely flush up to the little ridge there. So, pilot bearing installed. So now that we got the pilot bearing out of the way, now we need to take this rear main seal out. I don't have a seal removal tool. That's probably something I should have got at Harbor Freight, and I did not, so I'm gonna use like a pick to get in there, pull it out if that's easy enough. We'll see. I got the rear main seal out, not without a little bit of personal injury. I ended up stabbing myself with a stupid pick. Good job, Josh. But she's out, so we got it out. Now we just need to get it in. Now the only thing is I don't have a seal installer that large. It's a massive seal installer, so I'm going to lube up the outside of the seal and then just gently tap it in to where it's flush and sealing the surface. You can see there's already oil right here, right there. So once that's sealed, then I can clean up around here a little bit with like a brush or something like that. We'll see how that goes. Not sure how it happened, but I managed to mess up the seal. There's like one spot that's like damaged. I'm not sure how I even managed it, but in the process, seals are so hard to get in there too. It's so frustrating. I mean, they're supposed to seal, I guess, but I'm gonna have to go get another seal. This one's ruined, so hooray. All right, guys, so what I wanna do is I wanna pull the engine forward, set it on the ground using the gantry crane or actually I might move the gantry crane over this way a little, set the engine down here on the sides, because putting the seal in while it's hanging and moving all around, not the best thing, and I think that's why I messed up the seal. I've got a seal on order, it should be at O'Reilly's by 2 p.m. It's like 1:45 right now, so I'll head over there shortly, grab the seal, because that's really the only thing that's holding me back from getting this further along, honestly. And I talked to Randy. What we're going to end up doing is, I've already got the valve covers, so we're good there. Valve cover seals. They're a little weepy, probably should be replaced. I've also got new timing belt kit coming. Hopefully it'll be here this Saturday so I can get that done this weekend, as well as new spark plugs, spark wires, because honestly, everything is really accessible as is right now. And so while the engine's out, might as well replace the spark plug wires, might as well replace the plugs. You know, it's really serviceable at the moment. So we're just going to knock everything out all at once, and it should be good, hopefully for many, many, many more miles. That's the plan, at least. And then, of course, we can then focus on the cosmetics and making everything look nice, do a detail on the interior, having a professional do that, because I'm not doing that. So just waiting on the seal to come in, and we'll go from there. I'm going to actually move this over right now, and I'll show you when we get it on the ground. Okay, it's sitting on the ground, perfectly nestled between the wheel and the gantry crane. I could not have planned this any more perfectly, because look at this. I can't even fit my finger between the fender and the gantry crane on this side, and it just fits perfectly in this section. So perfect. It's going to give us a more stable spot to drive that seal home. It's a massive seal. You can't even buy a seal installer kit for this size of a seal from Harbor Freight. So no wonder I messed it up. I'm going to have to do it a little bit more carefully this second time. I do not want to mess up 2 seals, okay? That would be a nightmare. But it's in a good spot for that. I'm going to go ahead and install the new throwout bearing. This one doesn't really feel too bad, but actually, you know what? It does sound kind of bad. But anyways, we're going to replace that. That'll be easy. And then once that's replaced, we got the seal in and the clutches installed. We'll just drop the engine in, reattach it after we do the valve cover seals, because I can't imagine how annoying it will be with the engine in the car to do the valve cover seals. That would not be fun. And then, of course, I think we can do the cables, the spark plug wires, I mean to say, and the spark plugs with the car all put together in the engine bay. I don't think that'll be too hard. I mean, obviously, you shouldn't have to pull the engine to replace those, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, looking pretty good. We're in a good spot, other than me messing up the stupid first seal. So hopefully, fingers crossed, I won't mess up the second seal. Oh, another thing, whenever we put the engine back in the engine bay, there's going to be enough room here between where the radiator and the front of the engine would be, or the condenser in the front of the engine, that we should be able to do the timing belt without any issue. After much struggle trying to figure these stupid clips out, of course, I didn't think about like documenting how these clips were put on before I took them off. But I finally got it figured out, and it's on there. So that is completed. It is, oh yeah, that is like way better. See how it doesn't spin at all? Whereas the other one over here spins a whole bunch more than the other one does. It's not too bad, but the other one definitely is better for sure. So that's a success. Got that done, and then I think the Amazon guy just dropped off the valve cover gaskets, so we have those. We can do those real quick, and that'll be one thing knocked out as well. Ooh, look at these fancy new gaskets. Very nice. So we can turn this engine 90 degrees and work on one side at a time, and go from there. It's a pretty clean engine. Look at that. It's kind of hard to see, but man, everything's just like coated with a nice, dark sheen, but nothing's dirty. There's no like, I don't know, scum or any kind of buildup or anything like that. It looks pretty darn good. So we're in a good spot when it comes to getting this thing back on the road and making it really reliable for whoever ends up owning it in the future. Good times. Let's go ahead and pop these off, because we've got replacements those, and then of course pop the valve cover seal off. And it was pretty hermetically sealed on there, but I think there was some seepage going on, so it doesn't hurt to replace the valve cover seal anyways. So let's get that done. All right, guys, we got one side done. New seals on all 5 bolts, and then of course seals on the tubes for the spark plugs, and then of course the seal around the outside. It all seems very nice, and I like the blue seal, so let's flip her around, do a 360 there, and then do the other side. As you can see, yeah, these have definitely seen better days. They are hard as a rock, and they were sealing, but I don't know for how much longer, to be honest. So definitely worth changing now while the engine's out, because it's easy and accessible. So let's flip her around and do the other side. One thing I can say for sure is this one definitely was leaking. As you can see, it's just a whole bunch of nasty on the bottom here. And these have seen better days. It's like a little crushed looking. I don't know if that's just from the factory or what, but anyways, we're gonna go ahead and plop these off. Take these little bits off here. If I can get them off. Come on, flathead. There you go. One more to go. There you go, got those off. And now let's plop off this cover, which should be pretty easy now that all the bolts are out. Oh, theoretically. Oh, maybe not. Let's just give it a little bit of help here. Maybe. Ooh, it's on there good. You'd think. Okay, there you go. It's off now. Hopefully I'm getting good. Look at that. It's a little oilier on this side than the other side, I've noticed. Huh. But it also looks really good. So we're gonna pull these off here and pull the valve cover gasket off, because it ain't any good. Oh yeah, you can see, you can kind of see where it was sealing here, but not here. Yeah, it's the oil was seeping straight past. So I'm gonna wipe that off, and when we put the new one on, hopefully it'll stop that from continuing. Let's pull these little thingies off here. Okay, so all the old seals are off. Let's go ahead and get the new seal installed. Like I said, wipe this off first, so that way, you know, it doesn't get through to the other seal. And get this one put back together. All right, guys. All together, new valve cover seals. So both sides have new valve cover seals, so we're good there. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go pick up that oil seal for the rear, and then get that hopefully installed. Fingers crossed, we'll get the clutch installed and all that, and then we'll drop the engine in the engine bay. I'm just leaving the, you know, these just kind of chilling here. We're gonna end up replacing these spark plug wires and plugs, so we'll just leave them like they are for now, and then we'll be back here in a moment. Get rid of all these old things here laying on the ground. Throw those away too. All right, rear main seal is installed, so that's good to go. Use a little bit of grease to get it all up in there. It's good to go now. What I'm gonna do now though is spray some of this down with brake clean, scrub it down a little bit, make it look a little bit nicer, so that way, you know, it makes me feel good when it's clean. And then once that's done, we'll grab the clutch, we'll grab the flywheel, put the flywheel on, get that on there, and then get the clutch on there. And honestly, that's really where we're gonna stop today, mainly because I've gotta wait for the timing stuff to come in. I've gotta wait for the plug wires and spark plugs to come in, which unfortunately they're not gonna show up until like 2 days from now. So gotta wait for those, and then we can drop the engine in and wrap it up. So I'm thinking by the end of the weekend, which right now it's Thursday, so I'm thinking by Sunday we should have this in the car and the car running again with, you know, new timing belt, new everything. So it's going to be pretty exciting. I'm really looking forward to getting that done and getting back to a point where we can drive this again. It's just mainly waiting for parts, really. Okay, so let's clean this thing up. All right, guys, I think I'm getting to the point of diminishing returns. I feel like that's pretty good. I mean, definitely far better than it was. There's like, I don't know how much caked on oil slash clutch material that I got off the back of this motor. It's looking way better than it was, and I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to let that kind of evaporate. And now I'm going to work on the flywheel. Just get it scrubbed down with some Scotch-Brite, clean it up a little bit, and then spray it down with some brake clean, and then we'll go from there. All right, guys, I was going to put the clutch and all that stuff on the flywheel. I was cleaning up the flywheel, and I looked at this, and you probably won't be able to see it in the video, but there is some very, very small scratches, and this thing is cooked. It's like super smooth feeling, right? From being just slipped. You can see the difference in sheen. This is supposed to be the machine surface. This is also supposed to look similar to this here. And you can also see all those little tiny lines kind of working its way out. Those are tiny little surface cracking. I'll actually put on the screen now what it looks like, you know, zoomed in. And what we're gonna do now is I'm gonna make an arbor to hold this on my lathe, and we're gonna machine this. All right, guys, I machined the flywheel. No, I didn't machine it. We actually got a brand new one. The other one was not machining well, I think. And honestly, if you look at this, the actual mating surface where the clutch goes is higher, whereas the other one, it was inset, and it was also really hard where the clutch was because they basically overheated it and hardened the metal. So not worth saving. We're gonna put a brand new one on there with the clutch. So we're going to go and mount it on there now, and then we're going to clean it off with some brake clean and slap on the clutch, and it'll be ready to install once we get the new plug wires and the timing stuff in today. So pretty exciting stuff. Let's get to it. We got the flywheel installed. We torqued it down. I used the impact just to zip it down, and then we went to torque it, and it was pretty much already torque spec, so it was pretty perfect. But, you know, always good to double check and make sure they're properly torqued. We just finished spraying it with the brake clean. I also installed the throwout or pilot bearing, so that's good to go. Use the arbor press for that. And so now what we're going to do is install the clutch disc, get that going, and the pressure plate. We're about to put this in for the first time. Brand new clutch on brand new flywheel. What a deal. I get that clutch alignment tool lined up, and then we got to get the little dowels lined up where they go.
Not like that.
I'm failing. That's okay.
I
think it's this one, I think.
Yep, that's the one.
That's A1. Okay, there's one. Where's the second dowel? Oh, my knee. I gotta sit on my butt.
So down here at the bottom is basically line up, just lift it a touch, maybe.
Right here? Yep. Oh, it needs to be zipped down. I think it's in place now. We need bolts. I think they're up here. Oh. Handeth me some.
Bolts. I see them. They're hiding. Here's one.
No. Where is holes? There's a hole. Yeah, it's all fitting. It looks.
It's all coming together.
It's proper. I like it. I like it when it works. I like it when you just go and buy parts and they just fit the first time. You don't have to think about it. Though, when we went to pick up the flywheel the first time, we opened the box and it was a big old pressure plate from, like, I don't know, like a big old V8 or a truck or something.
Not this car.
And we were like, that's not right. And luckily enough, they were able to source another within like an hour. So I was like, heck yeah. That's one good thing about auto parts stores versus buying online. Sometimes they can get it right away depending on if there's any in the area. And luckily enough, these engines,
common enough.
Super common. They were in like so many cars. So many Subarus, they use the same engine for everything. It was crazy. So it's working out in our favor, guys. The interior parts, that's where it gets hard to find stuff. Unfortunately. This one's way down at the bottom. Kind of hard to get into that one.
Engine could be higher.
That's fine. No, it's not. It's not the visibility that's bothering me. It's the tight spaces. Okay, I think I need a 12 socket.
Looks right.
We have one in here. Oh, haha. I need a ratchet. Stat. Ratchet me.
How about a
That's too
smaller
big. I need
ratchet?
a small ratchet. We'll get a ratchet and we'll be back. We got the gold ratchet, you know, why not? Might as well be a little extravagant, huh? Uh-oh. Already scratching the gold paint off, or gold plating off. Nice icon ratchet. We're treating this Subi right.
Only the best.
After what it's been through, it deserves it. Been through a lot. Smells like a cigarette box inside of the car, you know, we gotta get that fixed.
Ashtray?
Ashtray, that's what I mean. See, I don't smoke, guys. So I don't know the words, the terminology. So who's willing to send me an electric ratchet? I need one. They're expensive though. They're expensive. Don't want to pay for it. But it would be handy for this. And once I get these all snugged down, what I'll do is get the torque wrench and we'll check the torque spec on these. Because I'm sure it matters for this, so. Some things are, the torque specs are a little less critical, but I'm pretty sure this is probably a critical thing, huh?
Can you pull that alignment tool out of there now?
I want to leave it in.
Okay.
I want to leave it in until we get the engine installed. Or until we go to install it. Can't hurt. Keeps it from getting... I don't think it would move, but...
I doubt it would move. I just thought it might give you a little more swing on the ratchet if you wanted it.
Oh yeah, sure, why not? Okay, I think I got them all. Let me just double check. That one's good. That one almost good. 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 Also good. And good.
All right, to the manual for the torque
Look
spec.
at that. It's beautiful. It's installed. I love it. Clutch is installed. Now, all we got to do is wait for the timing kit to come in, as well as the spark plug wires. We're waiting on those. We got the spark plugs right up here somewhere.
Here's your box.
Yep, we got the 4 spark plugs right here. G-Power. NGK. So, good stuff there. And then once we get the spark plug wires, we'll get those installed, and then we'll do the front timing, and then we should just be able to put it all back together. So pretty close. We just gotta wait for Amazon to show up. All right, guys, day 2. We're back on the Subaru. We're gonna work on replacing the spark plug and spark plug wires because we got those in stock from Amazon. Right over there, you can see them. And then we're gonna work on the front timing. So that'll be fun. I'm looking forward to the timing belt. Not really, but it's definitely convenient and easy to get to right now. So we can get it knocked out right away, and then that way it's good to go for, I don't know, however many miles, probably like 100,000, I'm guessing. I doubt this timing belt has ever been changed, and the car itself has how many miles? I can't tell, because it's a digital tag. But I know it's more than 100,000, so definitely worth doing. And then maybe we can get this back in the car today. Fingers crossed. These are worn out. You can see some of these have just like totally worn electrodes there. And we're gonna put iridiums in. Only the best for the Subi. And this one is far nicer, so I'm excited to get these in. We'll see how well it runs after we replace the plugs and these plug wires, or in the plug wires too. Alright guys, so Colin's wrapping up the other side of the spark plug wires. So let's open this up. box up here for the timing components. See what that looks like. One-handed. Ooh, very nice. Yeah, it looks like there's one idler and one tensioner. Gotta get a knife to open that. Knife acquired. Oh, I'm not very good at cutting things. Apparently. Oh. Get out of there. Alright, finally. Ooh, look at that. Ooh, it comes with new cam seals, maybe? Or what those are. Looks nice, though. Good kit. Alright, guys, we got the brand new spark plug wires and plugs installed. Looking good. Now we've got it pulled up here. We got a 22 mil socket to take off the crank pulley. Once the crank pulley's off, then we can take off these covers and we'll have access to the timing stuff. All right, we're gonna, hopefully this will take this off. We'll see. Oh yeah.
Not a problem.
Well, you didn't even have to try. Okay, now we should just theoretically be able to
Wiggle, wiggle.
You need not a pulley for that?
It does have
it is
holes
wiggling.
in there if you need a puller.
It is wiggling though.
You do have a pulley.
Oh,
Hey!
I think it's coming.
Quit telling me what to do.
Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. It's getting looser. It's definitely coming.
5 hours later. I don't like setting up pullers, man. They take forever. I'd rather struggle.
There, it's almost there. I can see it.
Almost.
I can see the witness line where it started. It's coming forward. Hey.
Who needs a puller? That's what my fingers are for.
Handmade pullers.
There we go.
Now we're gonna zip all these little things off.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
Lots of them.
9, 10.
And then we should have
11, 12,
access
13.
to the stuff. So we took off the timing cover, and honestly, this thing looks pretty good. I'll be surprised. It's surprising. Like, I don't think they replaced it all that long ago, but we've got the timing kit, and we don't know for sure when it was replaced last. It could look good, but be like 20 years old. Who knows? So, not really 20, it'd be like 10 years old. So I think we should just replace it anyways, just in case, to cover all our bases and go from there. While it looked new, now that we've got it off and we turn this bearing, listen to that. That is not how a bearing should sound.
That one's also dry.
Yeah, okay. We're good on this one's okay, but this one's bad. This one's bad, and this one, the water pump seems okay. There's a little, what is this? A little O-ring looking thing. Let's not lose that in case we need it. I don't think we will, but yeah, water pump feels fine.
It came out of the tensioner.
Okay, well, I don't know if we'll need that. We probably won't. So, one thing it did, we got it all lined up where the arrows are pointing forward, but the cam, the way the cam is, it kind of kicks it off. So we're gonna have to make sure we get it lined up whenever we put
Marks
it all
are easy to
together.
see though, so.
Yeah,
won't be
really
hard.
super easy to see the marks. So I think we're okay. Fresh belt installed. It was giving us a little bit of trouble because we were trying to put it all together with all these pulleys attached. I had to take this pulley out so that way it would give us enough slack here to get it onto here. And once we got it on here, then we could put this pulley on because there was enough slack at that point. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna pull this pin, pull the grenade pin, and theoretically it's now tensioned.
It was pretty taut already. There's no worries about slack.
So I think what we're gonna do now is put the pulley back in. We'll turn over the engine a few times just to see how everything lines up after the fact, after a couple of rotations, and then we'll see what that looks like. We'll let you know. All right, guys, we did 2 full revolutions. Still exactly pointing up, the arrow there, little arrow there, and the arrow there. So we've got it in time. So now we're gonna put the covers back on, and then we're gonna drop this puppy in the engine bay for the first time in like a week, or a few days actually. We got it all wrapped up, looks good, and we're gonna clean up the excess oil that was leaking from the valve cover before I replaced it, just to make it look nicer. And plus we'll be able to see if there's any active leaks going on after the fact. I don't think I did it wrong, but you never know. We got her all shined up like a new penny. At least the timing cover and also the valve covers. Looks pretty good. We're going to take this, of course, to a car wash and blast it after we get it all put back together. But now we're going to go ahead and put the engine in the car for the first time a little bit. And with all new stuff, it's going to run like a new car. Maybe. Probably not. But it'll run a lot better. Especially with those new spark plugs. Those are really bad. So we're going to lower it down in there. So yeah, we were taking apart the tape off the MAF, and there's an Arizona T-can in there. It's kind of interesting. So that's interesting. Nice.
Sure, the airflow through there was really nice.
Yeah, top tier airflow.
Reminded them of tea.
And we're slowly screwing everything back in, or putting all the what do you
Bill
want to
housing
call it?
bolts.
Yeah, exactly. And nuts.
And
And the
nuts.
2 nuts, which are a pain in the butt to get to, but
It's going pretty good.
it's going well enough. So we got to get the tap and die out set, which I highly recommend this gear wrench tap and die set with the ratchety handles. They're super nice.
Not a sponsor.
We got a really good deal on them. And we had to redo the threads on this because they were chowdered somehow. I don't know how it happened, but it would not go in. Now it goes in like super smooth. Soon we'll be able to put the belts on. It's very nice, exciting. We'll have the belts on shortly. Check it out, guys. I got the belts reattached, nice and tensioned. And all that's left now is to put the cooling system and then the intake on. And we should be good to go. And the exhaust. So there's 3 more things. 3 more systems and we'll be done. We'll be good to go. And then the battery. And then we're driving the car.
And then breaking
I already felt the clutch. It feels a million times better. So I can't wait to drive it. It's going to be awesome. Intake for this thing because they're really expensive. We've got it to a good spot. We've got the radiator in, got both the fans in, everything kind of put together. We've got to put one more motor mount, or not motor mount, bell housing bolt is what I'm trying to say, because it has the it's attached to the exhaust, so we need to attach the exhaust first before we can put that bolt in because of the cable. There's like a O2 sensor cable that comes off of it. So we're gonna go to AutoZone. We're gonna pick up beep beep beep. We're gonna go pick up a some oil filter, exhaust gaskets, MAF cleaner because the MAF is really dirty. Maybe fabric coupling, some intake stuff. I don't know if we need to buy stuff from there or not.
Duct tape.
Yeah, just duct
I'm
tape
kidding.
there. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, should be exciting. Looking forward to getting that done. Oh, we need to go get some zip ties too. Don't forget zip ties.
Zip ties.
Yes. So Colin found something on the Subaru here. A curious thing. We were wondering, the headlights were doing weird stuff. We were wondering what's going on with that, so we're trying to figure that out. They popped open the fuse box, and yeah. You guys notice anything weird about the fuse box? Put in the comments below if you know what it is. There's a random USB port. For some reason, I have no idea why. It'll be this. And also, it's a fuse right there. So, yeah, we're gonna have to figure out what goes there and maybe replace it. Let's see. What is that?
It says SPF number 4. We can figure it out though.
50 amp? They're gonna have 50 amps going through a freaking piece of
50 amp aluminum foil.
aluminum foil? Oh my god. Yeah, we need to figure out what that is. We'll let you know what it is once we figure it out. Fancy new fuse installed. Let's see if the headlights work, because they weren't working a second ago. No, nothing. Well, we need to figure the headlights out. I'm not sure exactly what the deal is with that. They were working before. None of these are for fans, so. Or for headlights. Maybe maybe the headlight fuse is out. Another thing to check. Well, somehow we figured it out. I think once we replace the fuse, the headlights started working after we turned the key on, but they don't work with the key off, which is really weird. I don't know. Is that normal for Subaru? Guys, put in the comment below if you know. Comments below if you know if it's actually a Subaru thing where if the key's off, the headlights don't work. Or is it just weird? I wouldn't think so either, but that's what it was. Also, the fuse was entirely missing for the windshield wiper, but check it out. Oh, I'll have to turn the key on, don't I? Let me turn the key on, one sec. See, that's not something that surprised me that the key has to be on for, but we got windshield wipers. Yeah, boy. Very nice. So, hey, we're fixing things left and right, and he's cleaning the windshield with brake clean.
It works.
Yeah, it works. Plus, there was some like weird grease or something on it, so
Not anymore.
it's cleaning it off. So, we're gonna fix this because it's ugly and we hate it. We've got some 3M Super 77. We're just gonna spritz in there and just kind of push it up so it doesn't look so bad. I've got Colin getting the spray bottle ready. I think you gotta let it sit
Yep,
for
we gotta
like, let it tack up, yeah. This is the same stuff a lot of people use to hold up their headliners when it falls, too. So this is kind of the same material, pretty much. Not really, but close enough.
Similar.
Similar enough.
Let that do its thing.
We're gonna let it do its thing, and then we'll show you an after here in a little bit. Check it out, guys. That worked perfectly. Way better. It looks like a whole new car at this point, pretty much. And I got the 3D print completed. They'll make the flange for the pod filter to attach it to the end of the MAF.
Looks right
and it
to
looks
me.
pretty dang good. Nice. So, and we should be able to put that pod filter. Oh, here it is. Let's see if it fits over the end. That's something we were going to test.
Yeah. Oh, my gloves are dirty.
But we'll need to, of course, attach it. But
oh yeah,
oh, yeah.
Nice and snug.
and then, of course, it'll tighten down with the clamp. Well, don't put it all the way on
yeah.
just yet. We need to still
Yep.
tighten the nuts. But sweet. So we're going to get that mounted. We'll show you what that looks like here in a minute. So we couldn't find screen for the stock MAF sensor, and the screen that was there was busted. So we got some screen for like some aluminum screen, and we're gonna put that together just so that way it just doubly ensures that there's nothing gonna go through that MAF sensor. So let's see how it fits. I've already got the bolts in.
Oh, the holes are too small.
Just barely.
Yep.
Dang. Okay, we might have to drill them out just slightly, but that's easy enough. We're all wrapped up. The engine is basically completed. We've got the 3D printed pod adapter attached. It's looking pretty good. And we're gonna start it up. Go ahead. It's finicky right now. There we go. He's running. Got a little bit of a squeal going on. I think, I'm not sure what that is, but oh well. Sounds like it has a turbo. Kind of. But yeah, it's working. Yeah, we adapted this. It's looking pretty good. Well, that's going to be it for this video, guys. The Subaru is now officially drivable, pretty much. I just got to replace a few things on the interior. And then, of course, give it a detail. And then we'll be good to go for a lot more time, is what I'm trying to say. I'm getting tired, guys. I want to thank my members, and I'll see you guys next time on Too Many Projects Garage.